Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Floor Plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I wanted to discuss floor coverings and floors as they're associated with walls. So in the previous two videos, we talked about floor coverings with walls and what happens also when we add openings into those walls. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead and added in the ability to essentially create a link between the actual floor itself and walls. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that. And first we're just going to go ahead and lay down a grid so we have something to work against as a reference. And I like to use these grids to just make things really easy to build. Okay, so let's go ahead and just throw down some exterior walls. We're not going to get too crazy with this, just use the defaults. And let's see here, let's just put down like maybe an L-shaped sort of structure. We just want the perimeter walls to demonstrate this. We don't need to get into too much into the weeds on that, but let's go ahead and hit enter. I'm going to escape. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn off our wall cladding and sheathing and what have you, just so we can see things a little better here. I mean, you can actually leave those on while you're working with the floor plugin. And you know, it works just the same. It's just, for me, I like to have things a little more visible for these videos. So let's see, we'll turn off the sheathing as well. It's right there. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got ourselves like a little L-shaped, you know, 6 walls, I guess, is what we've got. So now, let's go ahead and use the draw floor tool right here. Give it a second to load. It's got to create all those layers. Okay, so now what you can see here is we've got this little corner icon right here up in the top right corner, and that is typically in polyline mode. Of course, I think you can change that in the global settings. If we click that twice, it'll take us into the wall mode, or draw mode equals wall. Now, this is the same now as the floor covering, but now we're actually working with floors, okay? So let's go ahead and turn on our sheathing, maybe put on a seal plate here. And let's leave the rest defaults, I guess. Okay. Now, when you go to the wall mode, first of all, you're going to notice that you're just like the floor covering tool. You're going to notice that these walls highlight. So let's go ahead and start clicking them. And also, too, you'll notice that it will highlight interior or exterior. So you do need to pay attention and make sure that you assign which side of the wall you want to frame to with the floor. And also, too, unlike the floor covering tool, we are going to be framing, or basically you'll notice that it's highlighting like that, but it's actually going to be framing to the edge of the actual framing itself. So we'll show you that. So let's go ahead and just get this started here. All right, let's just work our way around this wall. And there we go. Okay, so there you go. There's our floor. And you'll notice that it framed to the outside of framing, just as we had wanted to do. Okay, so there we go. Pretty simple to use. Granted, I usually like to frame my floors first and then put the walls on top, which I think is, I mean, it seems like a more rational way to do it. But the upside of doing it this way now is that now your actual floor is linked to all of these walls, right? So if we go ahead and edit this floor here, we'll show you what that does. All right, so now you've got all your regular settings, but now you've got what's called perimeter options. Okay, and it looks very similar to the floor covering edit menu. The only thing really different is that instead of having the wall opening section where you can specify openings or what to do with the openings, here there's just a wall side and wall list. So really it's just one thing is missing, and because we don't really care about wall openings with the floor itself. Okay, so just like the other floor covering tool, you can turn the perimeter type back to points if you like, from walls. So right now it's set to walls, and we'll show you that in a second. But I just want to show you guys what the edit menu looks like. And you know, if you update that, it will update accordingly. So now if we go ahead and move this wall, or any of these walls actually. So it doesn't automatically update, but all you need to do now is if you want that floor to follow that wall, just go ahead and regen the floor. And then it basically reconfigures itself. And just realize too that this, it will try to follow those walls wherever you move them. So like if I grab this whole set of walls and then I like shift it, you know, wherever. Now if I regen this here assembly, it's going to basically follow it, see, just like that. One thing to be aware of though, if you go and vertically raise this these walls, like say you're adding another floor or something, and you've got already a floor assembly associated with these walls, don't raise the floor at the same time. And there's a reason for that. See, if I actually bump this up with like, let's say, 96 inches, 8 feet, right? Now, if I regen this now, this floor, you're going to notice that it actually will follow the walls, the base of the walls, and go up there to meet them. Now, if I were to move the floor, though, separately by itself, which I can do, I'm not talking about laterally, I'm talking vertically, right? Like, let's say I, for whatever reason, I want this defined by these walls, but I want it above the walls. So I can do that. I can place it up here, right? And then if I regen it, it's going to stay there. Now that seems normal, but if, for instance, I raise these up and I raise this up at the same time, it's going to want to reconfigure this floor the amount that the walls have been raised up, but also raise it up the amount that it was translated, which sounds a little confusing, but basically you're double dipping it, and you don't want to do that. So if you're going to vertically raise the walls and you want the floor to follow, just raise the walls themselves. Or if you want to basically offset that floor vertically from where it would normally be located at, then that's fine too. Okay. Anyways, it gets a little complicated, but I think you play around with it a little bit and you can you'll figure it out. Right. Okay. I'm going to just go back, put that right there for now. So just like the floor covering tool, you can move these walls around. It will adjust accordingly. So I'm going to just show you now. I'm going to use the floor covering tool. It's already set to wall mode. I'm going to just throw down a carpet real quick. I think we've got everything we want there. Okay. So now I'm just going to start here. Doesn't matter which way I work myself around here. But I just want to show you guys how quick this you can make some edits now, right? So we just select all these walls, throws our carpet down. Okay, we could put in openings, all that good stuff. But for instance, now let's say, let's say we move this wall right here. Let's bump it over 8 feet. Okay. And so then to simply change this, let's regen the floor. It doesn't matter which one you regen first either. So let's just go ahead and regen the floor and just right click on it and hit regen. And then to regen the flooring, we got to click the regen flooring button, mouse over it, and there you go. So it basically is following those walls around. Okay, so what happens now if you move? Use the move tool, right? Now, let's go ahead and do that on the floor, actually. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to basically move this floor out, right? Now, remember, it's still associated with those walls. Okay, so it did that, right? It moved it, like that edge, like we wanted. However, if I regen this floor, watch what happens. It's going to put it right back. It's going to fix it back to those walls. So if you do want to use move edges, what you want to do is you actually want to go in here, edit the floor, change it back to points so it's disassociated from the walls, and then hit update. And now if we move it, it should stay put. So let's see here. I'm just going to move it out a little bit. Say 4 feet. Okay, and now let's regen it just to make double sure that it isn't going to jump back? No, it didn't. Okay, so there you go. Right. So, I mean, there's many ways to work with this. I mean, you can turn it on to points mode. You can turn it to wall mode. However you want to make that work. But at least now you have a way of associating or linking floors and flooring to a set of walls. And again, these basically, even though this flooring is embedded within this floor assembly, it can be linked to an entirely different set of walls. It's not, just because this floor is linked to these 6 walls doesn't mean that this flooring has to be linked to these 6 walls. So you can mix and match it up however you see fit. So anyways, I think that should be helpful to you guys. Yeah, I might do some other linking of walls with some of the other assemblies like the foundation or the complex roof. Still got to give that a little more thought. But I can see kind of a path forward here that it might be kind of handy for everyone. All right, well, we'll talk to you guys later, and thank you very much.